Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party. This is one of my short 3JS videos. And so excited about this one. This one is showing two at one time. I needed to move in the direction of two at one time just because I kind of wanted to be able. Okay, so here's what I didn't know. I didn't realize that like you can have four sides, right? That's what one of these things, a tetrahedron. This is two of those on top of each other and then a pair of them. But once you go to five sides, there's actually more than one kind of shape, which blows my mind. Um, I've always thought that there was like um, a one-to-one number of sides, shape, um, relationship, and there's not. There's many, many to many, and then at that point, it was just kind of like, oh, I kind of want to be able to show things side by side and all that. Now, I apologize because I know that I've tried really hard. One of the missions of this channel of this playlist is to show just focus on 3JS only and try to kind of get away from Angular. But the problem is that like this is an Angular only change, and it's like important. And I think if you're into VR especially, this would be a really, really important thing because if you show these offset a little bit, my understanding is I worked in VR when I worked for CNN for a little bit, and if you could show that off and you put this like on a phone, and one half is one way, and you have two halves, and then there's just a slight offset, you can get like glasses. They used to call them like Google Cardboard and all that. You can have these little things, and then you can have VR. Um, and this would kind of help do that. And I believe 3GS does have like a thing to turn like to make something like VR, but then that would look like a 3D thing that you were sitting there. Um, and that's the best part about 3JS is that, and the worst part is that like you just dig in just the tiniest bit, and then it's just a fertile ground for amazing ideas of fun things to do and interesting things to do, and like the math, everything is so interesting. But anyways, this was not a lot of changes. Basically, in the app, I just do two of these visualizations. It used to just be one visualization, but now there's two of them. And then the visualization has a control, so I basically set the control to false by default. Um, then let's see, there's like, how many changes are there? It's weird is that is in the way. So that was our app. So there's four changes. All the rest of them were in Viz. And I think, yeah, so here we added a little bit of logic saying, hey, if show controls is not on, go ahead and turn it off. We needed some, so before everything was 100%, it was absolutely positioned. Now it's 50% and not absolutely positioned anymore. I don't think we need the absolute position. It doesn't seem like. Um, Maybe we do. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it actually. And then app controls. Yeah, see, if app controls wasn't absolutely positioned, we would need that. And then we didn't change anything on that. And then I think all we did literally was import the input function, and then implement a show controls. And that is everything. So it was really simple, no 3JS changes. I think the next one I'm going to work on is to move on to like a five-sided object. I believe there's two different kinds of five-sided objects. I think there's one kind of five-sided object that is basically like a pyramid, and the other five-sided object is like three sides are the same and two sides are the same. So you have two different sides and three three are one size. I think it ends up being kind of like a tube, where it's like a octagon, and not an octagon, a pentagram, and then you have two sides, and then um, oh no, it's like a triangle or kind of thing, where you have like a triangle with sides on it, and then two triangles on the side. I believe those are the two different kinds, and I think it'd be good to make one of each, and then one where you kind of see them side by side. Probably, maybe not. And then I think it gets even crazier I don't think you can have a six-sided object. I can't remember that though. And see, this is domain knowledge, right? As we're moving through, starting to learn little pieces of domain knowledge, um, which, like, honestly, if I had was building a really complex application for 3JS and I was doing shapes, I bet, and I started at planes and worked my way up, I bet you anything, um, I would have architected it to assume that every number of sides is a type of geometry. Yeah, and I honestly do not know where I got. I think I got that. I must have got that from like elementary school when they were like, "Oh, and how many sides does this have? How many sides does that have?" Blah blah blah. And and that implied that there was like a one-to-one relationship, like between sides and all of that. So, anyways, that is that. I think it is awesome, Blossom. I'm really, really happy with it. I guess this could be pretty neat, like if they all had like colors or something like that. Um, but and maybe in the future I'll do that. But I think for now it's time to move on to the next sides. Because I would like to at least get to like I don't know some really nice complex objects, and then work on work on lights, but maybe not. Maybe like Um, I definitely want to get to fonts, right? Like so we can make letters and stuff, so have little messages, and then so that is important. But I know that like I would also love to build like an SVG importer, so that we just import the SVG and have that there. There's just so many things. So anyways, happy coding everybody. Have a great day. Bye.